Hello and welcome to the semi-finals of the Reversed Captainsmode tournament, the AtoD 3, or at least it's the third edition of the Reversed Captainsmode tournament, and we are going to be seeing a best out of 3 between Mousesports and Typical Mistakes. Now, one thing that you have to keep in mind for now, you don't see it like. Right now we have one team that is new playing with each other, of course Synderen joining Mousesports. The other team, Typical Mistakes, is a new and upcoming team that has actually performed reasonably well over the last couple of weeks. So I don't really see them as an underdog in this competition, especially not since it's Reversed Captainsmode. So before we get inside the draft, just a quick rundown of what's been happening and why this is best out of 3 and why this is the semi-finals. This is of course gonna be Mousesports, the team that we have seen in the European group that has got 3 games played, 1 loss. So that is why they were second in their group. TM ended first in their group, having 3 games played and 0 losses whatsoever. So we have the second versus first of each group, and the next best out of 3 that we'll see today will be of the number 1 of Europe and the number 2 of Group Americas, because that is where Typical Mistakes is from. That is also why we are out at a US East server. Next game will be swapped around, the last game will be a coin toss, etc. So, semi-finals. The rest was all best out of 1. This is going to be a best out of 3. We're going to be seeing what kind of different styles these two teams have developed over the last couple of weeks. I mean, Reversed Captainsmode, to each his own. Each find different heroes difficult to play against. We saw it very clearly when we were seeing, was it Empire in the AtoD 3, who drafted entirely different heroes than what we have seen up till that point, but unfortunately for them, not good enough to get into the top 2. But Mousesports versus Typical Mistakes, so some ground rules about the Reversed Captainsmode. The bans are normally the bans that are being done because you don't want your opponent to pick up that hero for you. All the heroes that you see appear on this line is gonna be the heroes that are drafted by Typical Mistakes, and they already appear on Mousesports lineup. Mousesports, when their bar is glowing, so to say, like this, they will have the choice to draft a hero, but the hero that they draft will appear on the top lane, top side, because that's going to be the heroes for Typical Mistakes. Now there are some rules about what you draft for your opponent team, because you have to draft at least one intellect, 1 agility, and 1 strength hero. So 1 of each attribute, and next to that you have to have 2 ranged heroes for your opponent. Mandatory. So we're going to be seeing, we have lately been seeing mostly of teams trying to make sure that they have every one of those requirements already fulfilled in the first 3 picks for their opponents, because that makes it really difficult to ban out heroes in the last banning phase. But we're going to be seeing how if they're going to be doing that again, because if you don't, as you know, Mousesports for example would know that Typical Mistakes still need to draft a ranged hero for them, so they can ban out specifically the ranged heroes they don't want to face. So that's the thought behind that. But let's see what we actually have here in the draft. They are taking their time, mostly Typical Mistakes taking their time already, having only 30 seconds left inside their bonus time. But we do have a Skeleton King getting banned out. Meepo and Medusa have basically been perma-banned for the entire tournament. And we also have got the Bloodseeker getting banned out. Huskar making it through, getting picked up first by Mousesports, or at least drafted by Mousesports for Typical Mistakes. That kind of also means that Necrolite can't be drafted for Mousesports by Typical Mistakes, because then you already have a counter against that Huskar. We might still see Mousesports picking him up to give to Typical Mistakes, because as you see right now, they are indeed doing the thing that I suggested, or that we have seen over the tournament, of course. I mean, they have the ranged heroes, or at least Mousesports already has the ranged heroes drafted for them, and they also have already 2 attributes. Just need a strength hero left. As for Typical Mistakes, already got a ranged and a strength. There's only 1 ranged strength left, but I don't think we're going to be seeing that one. That would of course be the Wisp, but I would expect us to see an intelligence or agility ranged hero right now, even though you really want to give away an agility range. Well, maybe. Sniper was given away after all. We have the OD and the Sniper. I mean, I have to say, I kind of like OD. OD is one of those heroes that, if having a good start, if getting an advantage over his opponents, he can definitely get out of control real fast. We're gonna be seeing if he gets that role though, because of course you can't really assume that you're gonna be getting a support or anything like that, so you don't really know what you're gonna be picking up mid yet, or what you're gonna be putting mid. Same thing goes for Huskar, as actually Aged Operation is a pretty good support, so already having a good one there. Also working well together with the Huskar, because if you have that cold feet and you jump, or Huskar jumps on a target, then he is slowed for a bit, and that cold feet will probably proc. Not guaranteed completely, but the chances are quite high. So already pretty decent at that. And they get a Morphling, so they get 3 ranged heroes. Now I have not seen that yet. I have not seen a team getting 3 heroes. Now of course we see that it's all 3 attributes, and are probably going to be getting 2 melee. And Morphling is not one of those heroes that really does that much early game, though if it goes later game he will still be dangerous. And we've actually seen Morphling mid quite a couple of times in this tournament, working out very nicely for their teams. But I have to say, I'm interested in seeing 3 range. That's the first time. First time for everything. And Mousesports drafting that for them. Of course, Synderen drafting that for them. Synderen has not drafted in the Reversed Captainsmode in this tournament just yet, as he's of course new on the spot of Mouse's captain. As Mouse's captain, that is. So interesting, see how that's going to be working out. Let's see what Mousesports is going to be handed as their last hero. We still have that strength hero that would be picked up, but no, they're going to leave that in, as in Mousesports will have a fairly easy time to decide what they're going to be banning out. They want to ban out the strength heroes that they do not want to get handed over by Typical Mistakes. As we are going to be starting with Mousesports for the bans. They get themselves handed over Phantom Assassin. We've seen a lot of Phantom Assassin this tournament. Now the thing about her is that she kinda, to be of value later on in the game, she needs a good start. And otherwise she's just a mediocre slow, if not a bad slow. And of course she has to get lucky at some point as well with her crits. But she can definitely survive on the hard lane, and we have seen teams running that on the hard lane pretty decently. And that will allow Mousesports to be a bit more flexible with their lanes and actually have some options, because right now we have got, in theory, OD that can solo middle or bottom. We've got PA that can solo top, and then Sniper OD again, middle, solo. So pretty decent, I have to say. Or at least, you know, for how decent a Reversed Captainsmode can be, actually. But yeah, Doom getting banned out, as said. I mean, they're going to be banning out strength heroes. Now for Typical Mistakes, it's a lot more difficult to decide what they're going to be banning out, because they don't have any guidelines anymore about what their opponents are going to pick for them. Because, you know, they're not going to pick specific lanes or anything like that. So they really just have a larger pool to ban out heroes from, and just have to decide about what they really don't want to be playing. As they don't want to be banning out too many strength heroes, because they want to have still one at least in the pool that is really crappy that they can give to Mousesports, so we won't see them banning out those that much. And we're actually seeing them ban out a Klinks. Now I have to say I'm quite surprised to see that, as well, we have seen a Klinks this game, but he totally owned. And I have to say, when you already have got three ranged, I don't think you should expect another range there. We've got a Timbersaw getting banned out, interestingly enough. Well, they don't really want to play that, I guess. Especially not if they already have got 3 ranged heroes that they should be up against. I mean, the thing is, I mean, every hero has one of its strengths. I mean, I'm just thinking Huskar versus Timbersaw wouldn't even be that bad.
5 seconds remaining.
But yeah, I don't blame them for not wanting to play it. They of course want to try to force out some heroes that have got some disables for them, because that's gonna be a bit of a rarity for the teams to get disabled. That they have cold feet and adaptive strike on Typical Mistake sides is pretty decent, to be fair. On the side of Mousesports, they of course got that astral imprisonment, but it's not really that that disable that you're looking for. Entimate's gonna get banned out as well as Faces Void, so 2 hard carries out of the pool. Quite surprising to see Mousesports actually banning a non-strength hero there. But of course, I mean, they have 2 more heroes to go for, and they kind of don't want to be forcing more lanes out than strictly necessary. As in, I mean, they already have gotten, in theory, 3 lanes, so they want to try to force out something that has and a disable, and at least got something that he can use mid-game. And now I don't see Faceless Void. I don't say Faceless Void doesn't have anything to use, because he of course has got that Chronosphere. But you actually have to have heroes that can do damage while you have the Chronosphere, even if Faceless Void himself doesn't, and they don't really have that. As we see the last banning coming. Ooh, that's the Necrolite still getting banned out.
Mousesports turn to pick.
And that is only 2 seconds left in the bonus time for Typical Mistakes. 28 seconds left for Mousesports still, so they can use a bit of extra time if they really want to. As Mousesports is going to draft one for Typical Mistakes first, like I said, they don't have any boundaries anymore. They can draft whatever they want for Typical Mistakes. I mean, we have often seen Spirit Breaker getting banned out, but I don't think that's really that good of a choice. I mean, the bash is very powerful against that sniper, and if you want to bank on sniper getting big, well, apparently they don't really want to do that, because the Spirit Breaker it is. Spirit Breaker is going to get the pickup here. And also, of course, by drafting him for Typical Mistakes, Mousesports is not going to be getting that one handed to them, so. Bit of a self-protection there. Let's see the last pick. I'm kind of thinking last pick because I want to see that strength hero. If they are going to leave it to the last hero, because if they don't pick a strength hero right now, they are going to give Mousesports another chance to pick up a strength hero for Typical Mistakes that they don't want to be playing there, and they're going to be giving away a Lycan, and I think that's the first time that we see him in this competition. And I have to say, normally, I mean, you give your opponents weak lanes, and therefore, you know, it takes a while before the heroes really reach their strength point. Lycan is one of those heroes that in mid game, he can actually start pushing really fast, and if Typical Mistakes is not ready for that, I mean, they don't really have any form of anti-push, it's going to be very difficult. And Lycan is also one of those heroes that doesn't need that much. I mean, you give him a BKB and a Vlad's and he's happy, right? So interesting draft here. Gonna see how it works out, and of course how Mousesports is gonna lane that, because we all know that Lycan in the jungle, it is possible and it has been done after that nerf, but it's far from ideal. So is he gonna be given a lane, or is he gonna be still going into that jungle and making sure that Mousesports, even though Lycanthrope jungle isn't that fast anymore, at least Mousesports would get more farm than Typical Mistakes would, purely because having at least one hero in the jungle. As Spectre is the last hero that Typical Mistakes is going to be having. Let's see how they're going to be laning this. Agent Operation, of course, is going to be playing as support.
10 seconds
I'm actually thinking Huskar might be played as support as well. Huskar is one of those heroes that needs a really good start, otherwise you might as well call him a suicide hero. But it really depends on what they were going to be doing with their Spirit Breaker. Spectre is going to be the one to farm, and Pugna is the last hero that is going to be given to Mousesports. Not a very good hero against the heroes that Typical Mistakes has, granted, but still fairly hard push. I mean, that blast is the one of the most spammable spells in Dota. Actually, was gonna say most spammable spells, but with the Sky Mage there, Sky Wrath Mage, whatever, it's that's no longer true. But it is AoE, and it is bursting down towers. So if Mousesports are gonna get a hand on, gonna get a bit ahead in the early game, they will dominate mid game, I think, with the amount of pushing power that they have, especially if that Lycan gets a good start. But we're gonna be seeing how they're gonna be playing that, how they're gonna be farming. We do see that Black already picked up the sniper, so he is gonna be the carry, and it looks like we're gonna be seeing OD mid, Synderen support on the Pugna. Oh, let's go over stuff a bit easier, right? Shall we? So, on the Radiant side, it is Mousesports that is there. We are gonna be seeing. Wait a second. This is awkward. There we go. We're gonna be seeing Pass playing the Lycanthrope. We're gonna be seeing Black on the sniper. He'll be doing the farming. Fada will be going mid on his OD. We will see Synderen on the Pugna as a support. And it's gonna be Koikfa that is indeed gonna go to the offlane. I would guess he got himself handed over some stuff. Synderen bought him wards and sentry wards. He is gonna be trying to get at least a decent offlane. But offlane it is. He picked up boots first and got Tango as well. So we'll be able to at least stay alive for a while. And I feel like I missed someone. No? We saw Koikfa. We saw Fada. We saw Pass. Wait, we saw everybody. Wow, awkward. Pause from the admin. Surprisingly, I'm gonna be checking Skype real quick to see what's up. And it was a story. Okay. Well, awkward. Okay, so on the dire side, it is Typical Mistakes. Preparing for battle. We've got ourselves I'm a Sheep Sucks playing the Age Separation as a support. No real surprise. Looks like we're gonna have an aggressive Trilon on our hands. With Cakes playing the Spirit Breaker, gonna be the one to take the farm and maybe share the farm a bit with Morphling, even though Morphling is carrying wards, actually purchased by himself. So the Lated Mind will be playing the Morphling as a semi-support. I'm kind of thinking that later on in the game he'll try to get himself some farm and maybe rotate a bit of lanes after, for example, Huskar got some levels or something, because Huskar is gonna be the mid. So they are not gonna be having a support Huskar. They are gonna be trying to get the mid game going for them as well, and it will be Ryu or Boros playing the Huskar. And he is gonna be up against a dual lane perhaps, or at least Fada will be here. Actually, they swapped! They swapped! The sneaky bastards swapped! It is gonna be Syndrin on the support OD and Fada on the Pugna. And in the meantime, it's gonna be Spectre. Look at that DD rune! And that actually is a pretty dangerous situation. Because it was indeed the Phantom Strike that got picked up first, and she can just jump there and go again if she wants to, if she feels like she can survive that. But we do have Fan of Soyeon playing on the Spectre on the top lane solo, realizing that he's going to be up against a solo Koifa anyway, so might as well. And we do indeed have Lycan going into that jungle, see how long he lasts there, as on the bottom lane is the lane where we're going to be probably spending most of our attention, because this is going to be something for Typical Mistakes to be trying to make happen. Shut Black down. And then normally, like in normal games, normal competitive games, you have something like an SD, Shadow Demon, that has a disruption to stop people from going after someone, and Astral Imprisonment definitely does that as well, as in it can save the life of the sniper. Now he has to make sure that he doesn't do that when the Cold Feet are on, for example, because the Cold Feet will still be procced after the Astral Imprisonment is over, especially if the spell is only level 1. But it is something that can give Black a bit of safety here, and that can allow him to farm a bit more, as the Lated Mind is going to be finding past inside that jungle. But with the wolves there's very little he can do against this. And now with the Weave Form already on cooldown, Puss might try to go for it even though he doesn't have any wolves anymore, has to resummon them. And with the changes that we know will happen, I mean, this is Lycanthrope not really wanting to give away that mana for the wolves for a potential kill if it's not a guaranteed kill, because it's a lot of mana. You need those wolves in that jungle to survive, as in to do the damage, because they can't really tank, unfortunately, anymore. Haste rune up on the Lated Mind, gonna be using it maybe to harass Pass a bit more. Nope. Gonna be going bottom. Astral Imprisonment already there. Black might be overextending a bit. The charge is there. They want to go for Black, and with the Astral Imprisonment on cooldown, they can't do that. Cakes picking it up. Syndrin can't do anything to help that anymore. Didn't even get a kill on Sheep, that is. And that is gonna be a good kill going the way of Typical Mistakes. And what do they need? I mean, they need to delay the game so that their Huskar can get level 6. When that Huskar is level 6, and if he wins mid, which so far on 12 for 4 versus 13 for 2, he's not really winning. He's not really losing either though. But if once he wins, because he kind of has to win to be able to go around and to get that dominance going. I mean, Huskar is a very snowbally hero. If Black is not big enough by the time that happens, he is gonna be the target of the Huskar, and he's not gonna like it. Not gonna like it for one bit. In the meantime, we've got Spectre sitting on 10 for 4. Last hit wise, it is Koikfa that is slightly ahead, but you can't really look into it that much. I mean, at some point Spectre will have the hunt and will be able to continue farming, even if there's a threat of a team fight and can just hunt himself in. So later on he'll be catching up on the farm, definitely. And of course it's Koikfa that is on the suicide lane, so he's not expecting to get that much. So I would say for him, from his point of view, he is doing really well. But it's not like Fan of Soyeon is doing really bad or anything like that. We have got lag. It is the European East server, so we are having Mouz at a disadvantage in terms of lag. And as you might know, that the European servers themselves have had some issues today, and I'm hoping that that's not going to be an issue later on in the next game. But for now, some lag just from a player happens as well. And no, it's not DDoS. Not DDoS. By the way, you can of course buy the ticket for this competition in the Dota TV store, and you can, or Dota store, I would say Dota 2 store, and you can then watch it in Dota TV client if you want to. finals are probably going to be happening on Monday or Sunday, depending on what the admins decide. Maybe even Friday, depending on which teams also, of course, are going to be winning the semifinals that are both being played today. Because depending on the teams, they will look at a time where they are both available. And that will also be a best out of 3, if I'm recalling that correctly. As Black is sitting on 12 for 3 actually on last hits. We do have, of course, Spirit Breaker taking the farm here, 14 for 2. Difference is really minimal, but with that first blood under the belt of Cakes, he is going to be happy with the way the lane is going so far. But he needs to kill off Black more often. And he will get the help of Huskar soon for that, I think. Especially if he is going to be getting a kill up on Cinderin when Huskar is level 6. And he is slightly ahead of Cinderin right now. In terms of denies, Huskar has 6 denies. And Pugna 2. Now normally I don't really look at that much because the difference is really minimal, but in terms of having a Huskar versus a Pugna, the ultimate of Pugna isn't going to do that much, even though he can, of course, if Huskar jumps, then the life drain will be there from Pugna to, you know, redeem the life break that's just been done to him. But Huskar is going to get level 6 before Cinderin, the way that, or before Fada, the way this is going. Sorry, that name is going to be annoying. I'm going to be naming him Cinderin, but Cinderin is actually the one that has some internet issues and it's going to be the one to disconnect. As, well, just for people that joined later, this is of course Reversed Captainsmode. That's why we see such awkward heroes in this matchup. Reversed Captainsmode is that the other team drafts for the opponent team. One team drafts for the opponent team. And the rules were to have at least 1 agility, 1 strength, 1 intellect hero, and then also have 2 ranged, which is mandatory. And as we see, Typical Mistakes actually has got 3 ranged. Mousesports giving away 3 of those, having the Age of Separation and Huskar and Morphling. But they're using Morphling as support because they are kind of forced their hand in that way. They want to get the Spirit Breaker to be at least of a bit of use there, so he needs that farm. They want to, of course, farm off the Spectre because he is going to be winning this game if the game goes really late. At least going to be winning it for Typical Mistakes. And, of course, they need that early farm on the Huskar, otherwise Huskar is going to be useless, which is why I said that he was played as support in the games that we have seen him in already. He was played mostly as support, but he is going to be getting level 6 real fast, and he is going to be one of those heroes that when level 6 is going to be able to make something happen on the map. And I don't think that Mousesports doesn't really have one of those heroes. Maybe Sniper, but he kind of needs a really good start to be able to do that, and he doesn't really have a really good start because he already died once. No, he doesn't have a really bad start. I mean, yeah, he died, but, you know, he's still getting last hits. He's still getting experience. He's actually level 3, while Cakes is level 2. And that's, of course, the result of Sniper being here by himself for a while. Only sharing the experience sometimes with Cinderin, who's level 3 as well. And, of course, on the terms of Typical Mistakes, they are sharing the experience between the 3 of them, and that's showing. That's definitely shown. That's, of course, one of the reasons why on an aggressive trial lane, if you're not going to be aggressive, and if you're not going to be stopping your opponent from farming, you're doing something wrong, and you're going to get behind. And this is a long disconnect. But hopefully he'll be back soon. Under the captain's mantle for Mousesports. Anyways, been rambling on for a lot, but I think I kind of said it all, so, you know, don't want to be repeating everything I said again. Well, I can actually tell you also, of course, I'm not the only one casting this. At the moment there's also Canasta casting, an up and coming caster, I think that's the way you say it. You can find him on Canasta on Twitch TV. And for the Russians, Leodonna is casting this as well on Dota 2 RU. And Epi is casting this also from Join Dota, so you can watch it at different locations, if you please. I would of course prefer you to say, but you know, just want to make you sure that you know that there are options. And you would have known that if you checked my site where I have all the casters listed for today. Oh my god. Self-promotion. Shameless. Shameless, really. But, you know, you're used to that from me. By the way, I don't think I have told people what is actually at stake here. But I will tell you. There is in total a prize pool of $1,500. The only thing that I can't find is how it's gonna be distributed. That's a bit of a shame, isn't it? I think it is. Doesn't say. And the grand finals actually are scheduled for tomorrow, I see. But that's all dependent on if the teams are actually able to play, depending on which teams go to the grand finals. As of course tomorrow also is going to be the start of the ISO Cup, or at least the qualifiers. I know that Dota has been a little bit quiet lately in terms of games, or at least since last Sunday, because all the tournaments have come to a close, all the grand finals have happened, etc. So there's not that many games, everything has to start up again. And one of those things is the ISO Cup April. That is going to be starting tomorrow with the qualifiers and having 2 days qualifiers, and then in the weekend it will be having the playoffs themselves. And hopefully the AtoD will be there as well. And of course Sunday, I think, or maybe even Saturday, the Curse tournament starts as well. Let's see if Sniper is going to get away from this one. He should be able to. He's not going to get the cold feet proc. There's no more mana left on Spirit Breaker. Cinnamon might be a bit out of position though. They might be trying to go for that knee bash. Oh, get bash actually, Sniper in some trouble. It is gonna be Cinnamon that gets another bash. That's 2 bashes, 3 bashes. 1 more hit needed, I think. He's not gonna get it though, and Black coming in to save the day and scare him off. But bashes, luck-based Dota is gonna be the name of the game. Not just, of course, for Spirit Breaker, but also for the Phantom Assassin. But we do have some low heroes here. Age Separation is going to be forced back all the way to base. I mean, it was a bit risky for him to hang around there, especially if Sniper is going to be getting a bit of long-range hits off, because he did pick up Take Aim. So he's going to be able to take those hits, make those hits going. And in the meantime, Husker also having some problem with his HP. Kind of curious to see what kind of build he goes for. As in the meantime, Fada is having a good time. 18 for 4. Making good use of Husker not being around there, but 22 for 9 upon him. So he is gonna be okay himself, as well as there's almost mana up again on the Spirit Breaker. Maybe, almost I say, but still needs 60. And Black is really making his life difficult right here. Enjoy. Another blast coming in. Harassment. I mean, like I said, one of the most spammable spells in Dota, and that's really gonna hurt Husker quite a lot. Illusion Rune helping out as well. At least he has his skills and a self actually to heal him back up again. He's gonna be popped up the self again, and he jumps on an illusion. That's bad news. Fada is gonna be able to get away from that one, and that is level 6 for Husker, but not able to make it through. The haunt is there. Where are they gonna go? Are they gonna go on the bottom lane? Yes, they are. It is gonna be the Late of Mind that picks up Black, and they're gonna get Cinnamon as well. That's a double kill for the support Morphling, who has a very big tendency to not be a support the later the game goes. Double kill for him. A bit overextension. We saw Black harassing Cakes a lot. Have to be careful though. It's still 2 versus 1. Courier is hanging in the middle of nowhere. Quite interesting to note that there is actually a ward that scouts him out, but nobody is going for it. Ward's gonna disappear soon. You do see a white spot on the map. He gets moved. He gets moved. Okay. Fair enough. Pass is gonna be very low in life. Has to be careful if someone leaves the lane. There's no wards anymore protecting him in the jungle, but so far he seems pretty happy with the way things are going. In the meantime, it's gonna be Quickfire who's gonna be okay on the top lane, unless he's gonna get jumped. He is gonna get jumped. Life Break is there. Need Blur. Doesn't get Blur. Needs crits. Does get crits and does get a kill in Husker. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Luck again. Luck again. Charge up on Black. Looks like teams are done playing. Nice. There goes the Esper Imprisonment, helping Black out for a little while longer. But how long is he going to be able to stay alive against that one? Not that much longer. And it will be Cakes that will be able to get himself away. The Late of Mind not even having to follow up on that one. Cakes doing it all by himself, getting his second kill of the game. It is 1-5 on a kill score, with the first kill going the way for Mousesports on the top lane for Quickfire. Basically based on luck rather than anything else. And that was of course the 3rd time that Black actually died, so they're doing a good job shutting him down. And right now with Husker, I mean, yeah, he is a bit of a suicide hero. I mean, we get that. He is using his life to attack, etc. blah blah. But if he continues trading like this, it's actually not that bad. Where are you gonna go? They don't see you yet. The charge is actually gonna be there. The blast is still gonna be there from Fada though, but the charge is already going. Look at him run. Look at it go. It is Cakes I'm just gonna follow this. This is fun. Or is it? Does he really want to dive this? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Here he comes. Morphling is going to be there as well. There is no level 6 just yet. It is going to be Delighted Mind, who's going to be in trouble, though. Going to be already having his weave on cooldown and will be going down. Koifa getting a second kill of the game. Cake's going to be able to jump himself out, and that's pure overextension. And the pause comes again. There we go. Pause. Oh well. Scar level 7 picked himself up some treads. Doesn't finish up his urn, which is quite surprising if he's gonna go for those kills, but maybe just want to wait for it a little while longer and get himself some more HPs first. But I guess why? Well, he has free farm. Why move, right? It's gonna be Fada that came, of course, in to get himself a kill. Lucky for him, indeed, that blast getting him, and no TP. No TP on the Spectre to get himself out of that place. Doesn't have the TP now either. Has to walk all the way back to the top lane. Not even his teammates can spare a TP from him, and all of a sudden it is 3-5. And of course, one thing that is always the case: later kills mean more in terms of experience. And that is going to be something that is very important in this game. We do see the experience graph jump back up again with only 2 kills in favor of TM. I don't think they have the experience in their favor right at this moment, depending on what is behind the game is pause button, of course, but still, gonna be tough. In the meantime, Lycanthrope has really not been seen yet this game, or at least not in action, not involved in any kills or any defenses, and is of course gonna be one of those heroes that is gonna be at some point emerging from the jungle, saying, you know what, hey guys, I'm here to end the game, here to split push you to death. And right now, you would say Mouz, maybe not on the winning side all that much. And especially Black is not really having a happy time. But this is all 4 versus 5. This is all for 4 versus 5. So the moment that Lycan decides to join the game, it's going to be all different. We do have the gold graph slightly in favor of TM. That's of course because of the kills. But with the later kills, again, it jumps back up again. Jumps back up again quite convincingly. TA has to go back to base. Has got herself some face boots as well as the poor man's shield. And in terms of net worth, she's really not doing bad. She's actually highest on Mousesport list right now. And this is the guy / Templar Phantom Assassin kind of girl that you sent to the suicide lane. Well, it worked out good for Mousesports. Fada, of course, doing nicely on his Pugna as well. Just Black not really shown for himself. But if the game gets late enough, I mean, maybe he'll be able to get himself something together. Though, if the game lasts really long, you've got yourself a Phantom Assassin and a Sniper alike in carry. Pretty decent. Spectre, though. I mean, there's a reason why Spectre was so favored a year ago. So, well, a bit more than a year ago. She is one of those carries that, if given time, she's going to be able to bring it down. And of course, what we also saw from Typical Mistakes, well, they picked Pugna last. Imagine Spectre getting nice farm, getting some nice items up, and he uses his haunt. Sniper, Pugna. Those 2 heroes will not be able to stay alive very long. Well, Pugna can of course use the Crepify, which is nice, but he has to be careful about weave form, etc. So you can't really be that careless with that. So you know, it's gonna be tough to out carry a Spectre and a Morphling. I mean, and then even Spirit Breaker if he gets out of control. I'm sure everybody's been in a pub where a Spirit Breaker got out of control, and you know that's not a pretty sight at all. In the meantime, OD, I'm not mentioning OD as a semi-carry because he's not getting anything, and I think that by the time that he is ready to semi-carry, everybody else will be so big that will be too much. It'll be too late for him to mean that much. And of course, OD, we do see him picked up as a carry sometimes, especially in Asian scenes. But what they mostly do is get him a head start, and then you know he'll go out of control because he will have those he will have the intellect difference, etc. But if he doesn't get out of control, if he doesn't get that good start, he's not really going to do that much, because the one thing that you're going to be building up against an OD is going to be a BKB, and by the time he is at this point where enemies need a BKB against him, They already have that. They don't really need to get it anymore. Even maybe Spectre doesn't get it, but Morphling probably will, especially Spirit Breaker will. Anyways, the pause continues, of course, as Synderen disconnects. Still is disconnected, I should say. Let's take a quick look at the levels while we wait. We've got the supports of the Typical Mistakes sitting on 4, 4, and 5. With 5 and 5 on the bottom lane for Mousesports, and there's no really other support apart from Synderen, so they have got this hard support that is still level of the same of the supports of the other two of the other team, that is. And we do see Mousesports getting a bit ahead on the experience for sure, especially with having 2 level 8s while Mousesports only has 1. That being the Spectre. Better yet. Let me see if that's true. Yeah, well, at least Pugna is slightly behind on the Spectre. Phantom is also slightly behind, but, you know, not by that much. The difference is not that great. And apparently the semifinals that are going to be happening after this one are not going to be waiting until this one is done, especially not with these breaks. I mean, you gotta understand, they probably got work or school or something tomorrow, so. And there's of course 3 English casters in this cast. Probably one of them. The others will swap. So we kind of want to continue seeing Mousesports. There's still, of course, 55 minutes until that game starts, so we'll still probably see maybe at least the second game of that best out of 3 matchup. But, yeah. I mean, we're already here anyway, right? Might swap. Unless there's gonna be way more pauses, because that's gonna be annoying. There we go. Which I believe that each team has a limit to the pause. But one thing that you have to know is that Kibu is of course the admin for this game, but he is a stand-in admin for Ham Sandwich, who is normally the admin. Who's in Las Vegas at the moment. Never been to Las Vegas. Anyways, I'm thinking back to DDoS attacks for the G1 League and what casters did then. Can't really read a book because I don't want to spoil you for the Song of Ice and Fire. And the other ones are kind of like flings in English books that I have. They're too difficult to. Well, I got a couple of simple ones, but they're more like girly. If there's any girls watching, it's Jill Mansell books. They're nice, but probably not really suited to read out loud in a stream. That's got probably the majority of the viewers being guys. Even though they might be pleasantly surprised, who knows, right? Who knows? But on the other hand, I kind of want the pause to be over. Because, you know, yeah, that. Any updates, I would like to know that too. I'm actually gonna be checking in with the admin. What else can I tell? I can't really do story times because I'm not really that great of a storyteller. I normally never get the clues right. And you probably remember me from telling jokes at some point. Didn't go that well. At all. Because like I said, I can't read out loud. Can't tell stories with clues being properly done. Stand-in admin. Let's see if we know anything more about this. No, we don't. No, we don't. Too much Alex fan voice. Yeah. Well, Vlads is almost done on the lycanthrope. Let's see if he's gonna go for Roshan after that. Could be possible. Would give Mousesports definitely a boost. One that they can use. Okay. So, by the way, Song of Ice and Fire is the name of the books of Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is actually only the name of the first book of Song of Ice and Fire. So, Song of Ice and Fire are the books of the Game of Thrones. Update. Cinderin is on his way back. And if you're wondering why is this pause taking so long and why doesn't TM ask for anything else, well, they actually are okay with having a long pause because, as I said at the start, they kind of miss the time zones and there are some players that would join later, and the later this goes, the better it is for their players, so, you know, that's why they don't force out anything. I'm not gonna read 50 Shades of Grey to you, I'm sorry. Probably a bit too much to do on stream. Greetings, friends. That's gonna be the story that I want to hear. Let's play another 2 minutes. Let's hopefully play a lot more. Thank you. Yes. Well, we kind of went over everything already in the time that this break was going on. So, you know, that happened. So, we're gonna be seeing when Lycanthrope is gonna go to the Roshan pit. Perhaps. We're gonna be seeing when Huskar decides to leave. And is gonna try to find Puss, which he just saw walking past. And here we go. Jump. Boom. He should be able to get this kill. The Hunt is gonna help out, and that's gonna be Puss going down. Fada coming in is gonna be getting a Decryptify up and a blast as well. But look at that HP loss, giving Huskar extra strength. The Wolves, though, the Wolves! It is Puss that gets a return kill after, of course, being the first one to go down, but a double kill going the way of the Huskar. One of those suicide heroes that does just do that. He does get the experience and the gold completely for it, as he died after all of that happened. So not even that bad. Not even that bad. But still dying for it. Not really where you want to be exactly, but better than nothing. Charge up on Black. Let's see if they're gonna go for that. It's coming from the top. There it comes, running through on Warpath. You want to dive a tower for that? I guess they do. They have that level 6. And they will be going for it. There's the Astral Imprisonment, though. Is it going to be enough? I don't think so. Especially not with the Urn Charge there. One more hit. Boom, you're dead. It is Sheep that gets the kill. Cakes doesn't get anything. Well, he gets experience, actually. And here comes the Huskar again, ready to jump on Mousesports' Cinderin. If he shows his face, which he didn't, so he's going to be okay. In the meantime, on the top lane, Koikfa is still happily farming. The Howl, of course, helping Koikfa out a bit here as well. Nobody up against him at the moment. We did see the Hound, of course, of Spectre, who actually, didn't went down or anything like that. It's just going to be continuing on the top, going to be continuing to farm, as Black is going to try to do the same, but 0-4-0. Not really a score that you want to be having at 10 minutes into the game, especially not if you're a sniper. But, you know, what else can you ask for, really? Huskar can just jump on me right now, by the way. Level 6 versus level 9. That will not end well for Black. Maybe they can help out by having Pass coming around. There goes the ulti from him as well. It is going to be Huskar that will have to run. Already uses his heal. Age Separation ulti is going to fly in. We might see a turnaround. We could see a turnaround. It is going to be Sheep first. Is going to go down though. Cinnamon getting the kill. There goes the blast. After the Decrepify Haunt's going to come in as well. There goes the Haunt in. Gets a kill up on the sniper. Still with that. Spirit Breaker gonna go for Fada, who's running away, gets a dagger, and a Decrepify to help save his life. Is it gonna be enough? I don't think so. One more hit away from dying. There we go. Spectre getting the kill, and it's gonna be Huskar that's still gonna go down. Because Quakefa coming in, cleaning up, and actually getting his first, or his third kill in the game. That is gonna be getting a crit upon the Spirit Breaker. Gonna get charged. Oh, he wasn't counting on that. Can he jump towards a teammate? No, he can't, and he'll go down. A TP incoming from Black, but what can he do apart from be a sitting, waiting duck? And there's gonna be 4 dead and well, it was 5 dead on the side of Mousesports. They only got the Huskar in return for that and the age separation. But that's it. That's it, Mousesports. I'm not gonna be happy with that one. Not at all. Especially not with the Phantom Assassin going down. Since Black is not really doing too well for himself, Quakefa is gonna be the one having to bring it. And so far, he has been doing okay, but that was actually the first time that he died. Second time that he died. Black is gonna go down again because he just can't stand here anymore. There's 3. No, never mind. There's 4 people here. We're ready and waiting for him. He needs to get some farm somewhere, and he's not gonna be finding it on the bottom lane for now. Cinnamon actually coming in, shows himself, and not really sure if that's a clever idea. Creepwave coming in as well. And we might see TM actually trying to dive this. They know that he is still there. The new creep wave from the Radiant coming in will stop them from diving, I guess. A ward being placed. You see Pass coming in as well. Here also comes Quakefa once more. The thing is right now, if Mousesports continue fighting like this is not gonna end well. If they continue losing fights, unless they win fights, of course. They're not going to be having to deal with Cakes anymore because he charges himself out of there, actually gets himself charged up to Pugna here. Fada is going to go down, going to be the first one to go down in a new fight that has just sprung to life. Black is going to be attacked a bit by neutrals. Cake's going to get slowed down. Are they going to go in or not? As Storm Prism trying to help out. There's the hole. They want to go. The Haunt is there though. The life break hits upon the OD who goes down. Still gets his ulti up. It doesn't really do that much damage. Especially not since he doesn't really have any items. Ulti is going to miss. It is going to be Black that's still going to go down. It's going to be the Huskar that gets the kill. Here comes Pasto. Who really doesn't want to be here. Gets charged. And this might be again a team wipe. It is going to be only Quakefa that gets away with his life. Triple kill for the Huskar. And what I said at the start of the game still stands. Huskar, if he gets ahead, he is going to be one of those heroes that just gets out of control and it's just very difficult to stop. Because you're not going to have the survivability. I mean, you might have the damage, but he'll kill you before you kill him, basically. I don't know, it sounds stupid, but that's the way it is. He gets ahead in levels, you stick behind on HPs. Kind of forced to build defensive items, while you need also aggressive items. Balance is hard to strike. Charge up, wait a second. Fada, gonna be the target. Here comes the strike as well. No, it's actually on cooldown. Never mind, the Decrepify will help out. But Mousesports not coming out ahead of that second fight. That was a second big team fight, actually. And that's gonna be the experience graph really showing really clearly what happened. Of course, this was the pause, so don't really pay attention to that. But it is gonna be going towards the 6k. Experience in difference, 6k gold actually. Experience is going to be a bit more. Experience is going to be around 7,500 experience. In the meantime, we're going to be seeing the first tower going down on the side of Typical Mistakes. With Mousesports, of course, their tier 1 tower bottom went down. We already knew that. But still a charge. Pass. Going to be the target. He can, of course, still pop his wolf form, but he'll still get bashed. And another strike is going to be there as well. AOT is going to fly in. He's going to actually hit. Pass. You should think about running. He's going to try to run. You can't run from the basher though. There comes the strike. And that is going to be Pass. Not going to be able to get away. Cakes gets the kill. Pretty clear and simple pick off. With Pass just overextending. And that's one of the things that you have to worry about with the Spirit Breaker on the map. You're gonna be having those ganks. Especially if you give a global hero such as Age Separation with that. It is a perfect combination. Well, it is a good combination. Let's not say perfect. I mean, of course, it is a combination that, well, it's a combination that Mousesports drafted for Typical Mistakes.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I'm not going to be very happy with that choice right now. It is going to be the tier 1 tower top. It's going to be probably taking a fall. I don't think the wolves can really help against that. Might be prolonged a bit though. Illusions will be annoying to Mousesports a bit, as Spectre actually haunted down to get the sniper. My bad. Meantime, life break. Gonna be hitting up on Cinnamon, who's gonna get charged as well. It's actually gonna be Delated Mind that tried to get the last hit, but then Huskar got it instead. Koikfa on the run. You're gonna be able to get himself out of there. It looks like Fada might not be as lucky though. There is another strike up again in 3, 2, 1. There we go. Boom. And let the bashes begin. Oh, he blocks himself in. No, not completely, but the bash are still gonna be there as well. So flaming arrows, and it's gonna be Huskar that gets a kill. Surprise, surprise. Hey, ulti coming in. A bit too late, but it went anyway. Gotta appreciate the effort. Hey, Stroon.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Going the way of cakes. Ooh, that was nice. Crits probably helping out with that. Age separation. Not gonna be alive against that. Almost drums complete up on the PA. Let's do 1 tower middle. Gonna be the call, and the pause is gonna be the next call. Yay! Yeah, I didn't really know what else to say apart from that. So another pause coming off from Mousesports as we are now nearing the 16-minute mark, even though the game's been going on for about 45 minutes. No, that's not true. Well, actually, since the draft, the game has been going on for 45 minutes. GG, well played. What? With the disconnects, can't handle it. That was a disappointing end. And we might just see the other semifinals after all, right? There's goes the unpause to get the end screen going. Well, we knew that it wasn't going the way of Mouz, and we definitely didn't. I mean, no surprise there.
Unstoppable.
But this is a bit of a disappointing end. I'm curious to see if they're going to be playing the rest of the games, depending on how the Internet of Synderen is going to go. Will there be game 2? There. We're going to be knowing that shortly, as we are waiting for the end screen to appear very shortly on this throne, because the first team disconnected was indeed Mousesports. Well, disappointing end to a long break game. 17-minute game. It was, of course, semi-finals. It was game number 1. We're going to be seeing if there is a game number 2, or if Mousesports doesn't want to play again with that lag that was experienced by Mousesports Synderen. We'll find out for you in a moment. If there's no game, we're still going to have the other semi-finals. So regardless, there's going to be more Reversed Captainsmode Dota coming your way. Don't go anywhere. Stick around, and we'll have more for you soon.